Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So in this video, I thought I'd do a quick sort of wrap up and final thoughts on the Bowdens Own test that I recently finished. Now, when I filmed the last video for that series, I didn't actually at the time plan on it being the last video. I've since stripped off all the products that were on the car that you see in front of you and used the panel for a bunch of new products. So I didn't really get the chance to give my final thoughts. I didn't really let the products go all the way out till they were completely bare and worn out, but I will be reusing some of them in future tests. So yeah, I thought it's a good chance to just do a quick little video and talk about what my thoughts were, would I recommend and would I use these products again. So we'll start off with the Wet Dreams, which was the touchless sealant. So spray on and rinse off. Now I use and have used a lot in the past CarPro Hydro 2. So that is CarPro's equivalent and it's a product I really like. I use it on the ceramic coated cars occasionally and just on sort of friends and family's cars, just because it's so easy to just basically mist a product onto the panel after you finish washing and then just rinse it off and watch the water behavior transform from being bare and dead to really nice beading and sheeting away. So I didn't get the best results with Wet Dreams, but I think it may have been user error. I did try a new way of using it. With the CarPro one, I'd always just sprayed on and rinsed off, but I thought I'd get really good coverage by wiping it in, and it was more that to do that you want to spread it with a microfiber, not really wipe it. So I was basically wiping it off and not really getting the best results. So I think it may have been user error. I will give it a second chance. I'll actually be testing it in the future against CarPro Hydro 2. 303 also make a rinseless or touchless sealant, and possibly another brand that I'll pick up. So I'll be retrying this out and seeing how long it does last when it's applied properly, along with this guy and a few others. So would I recommend using this product? Yeah, definitely. And I would use it again. It's just that I personally prefer to keep using CarPro products, sealants, on my ceramic coated cars, just because I know they're designed to work together. It's not really going to mask or hinder the performance of the ceramic coating, which is already performs better than the spray sealants anyway. So I sort of moved away from putting any toppers on my ceramic coatings anyway, and just kind of let the coating do its job. So I wouldn't go using Wet Dreams on either of our Evo 10s here, but I will use it on friends and family's cars, my wife's daily driver, and I think it's a really easy to use product, so I would recommend it. And you know, just to spray onto your wheels or your front, your guard linings or anything like that, just to give it a little bit of protection. Definitely worth picking up and trying out. Next up was Afterglow. Now, Afterglow is a funny one. In the initial application, it was the nicest smelling product. Not that really matters too much, but it smells really good. I'd forgotten how good it smells because I have used that product a bit in the past when it was first released. And I felt like it straight away gave the paint just that really extra pop, a lot of gloss, and it just looked amazing. It was where it came time to wash that I feel like it just didn't really live up to its name. It doesn't have the bead porn so much that is advertised on the bottle here. But if you are maintaining your car well, now this is a panel that I use that is just sitting outside. Obviously my car's a garage generally, as are most people's. And I also was just letting it get dirty, washing it, and then not reapplying this. This is more of a drying aid. So if you're looking after your car, you're washing it once or twice a week, you know, using this to dry it with, it is going to perform very well. You don't use a lot of the product as well when you are applying, so it will last quite a while, that bottle. I won't personally continue using it, but I can see why people like it, and I would recommend it if you do like using a drying aid. It's a really good one. It does make drying it easy, and it does just make that paint pop, I can definitely guarantee. So next up we have the two fully slick products. Now, there's not really much point in talking about the version 1 because it's basically obsolete. You won't be able to really pick it up for much longer anyway. But for the version 2, I have used, just like Afterglow, I have used Fully Slick a fair bit in the past. And I can see that the Fully Slick version 2 is a definite improvement. Would I use it? I would say I wouldn't. They don't really give the best water behavior, and I know it says the name is Fully Slick. I definitely felt like Bead Machine and Happy Ending were a little bit slicker. So if a very slick feeling panel is your goal for your car, I would probably, even though it has it in the name, I would feel like Bead Machine or Happy Ending is a better product. But the main reason I see for it being around still and being offered by Bowdens is the fact that it's a bit more of a topper to go over the top of waxes, which I have seen the guys at Bowdens say a bit. Not sure how well it works or what it does, but from what I've heard, it can just go on top of a wax very easy, whereas a lot of modern sealants don't really play too well with a wax, whereas Fully Slick, from what I've heard, does. And so if you like waxing your car, but waxes are generally known not to give the best long-lasting protection, they just look really good, then you can put a bit of Fully Slick over the top. It'll make it feel nice and slick, and it will protect the wax, keep it looking great for a little bit longer. So that's, I think, the main reason for the product. Now, actually back here, I do have another one of Bowdens' products to test out that I haven't made a video on yet. Really keen to try it out. I actually haven't used it at all yet. But this is their Butte Beads. So this is their new paste wax. Now, I'll be honest, I haven't used a paste wax in a long time, so I am keen to try this out. So I might even try it out and maybe do a section where I put a little bit of Fully Slick on top, a little bit of Afterglow on top, and see if it sort of hinders the behavior of the wax itself, because from what I've heard, this is a very hydrophobic wax, right up there with some of the best sealants they make. So yeah, I'm keen to try this out and yeah, see how it works with their Fully Slick, which is meant to be something that you can use with waxes. So hopefully you guys are looking forward to that video. So moving on to Bead Machine. Now, as I just said and have said previously in other videos, I used Afterglow and the Fully Slick Original a lot a few years ago before I started branching out and trying other brands, and ended up going with ceramic coating and paint correcting and all that sort of stuff. So when I picked up Bead Machine, knowing how I wasn't originally very happy with the performance of Afterglow and Fully Slick, just for keeping my car clean and beading and protected for a long time, when I moved on to other brands of sealants, I felt like I got better performance, so I moved away from picking up those products. But with Bead Machine, it was definitely a different story. It is right up there with one of my favorites, NV Jet, I felt like, which is why I've actually, in the next test, I've actually got Bead Machine up against NV Jet and a few other highly recommended and reviewed spray sealants. So I feel like Bead Machine is really good and a massive step up for Bowdens Own, as was Wet Dreams, which definitely wasn't around when I used to pick up a lot of their products. But Bead Machine, yeah, it really did impress me. I definitely will keep on using it. Again, I don't like using these on top of, I know they do say enhances ceramic coatings and waxes. I just would rather continue using CarPro products, which are designed to work with their CarPro C-Quartz ceramic coating. So I won't use it on the Evo 10s, but I'll use it on the daily driver that my wife has. I'll use it on friends and family's cars, and yeah, really like this product. Definitely recommend it. For someone who isn't a fan of Bowdens Own and picks that up, I think they will be impressed. It'd be hard not to be. It is a really good spray sealant. So yeah, as an unbiased reviewer, I guess you'd say, I picked it up originally not really knowing what to think. I'd seen the reviews, but a lot of the Bowdens Own stuff does get really, yeah, like the people who are fans, they will just buy and buy every product they come out with, buy multiples of everything, and just stock their shelves with stuff. So to get sort of an unbiased review is kind of hard. But I can say I picked it up with no real expectations, and I was impressed, and I think anyone else who wants to try it out will be, especially at the price point. It is actually a really good price point for that product. So lastly, moving on to their Happy Ending. Again, really impressed with this. I feel like this is a massive step forward for Bowdens Own. If I hadn't moved on to just using ceramic coatings, I feel like this bead machine and then every now and then just topping it off with Happy Ending, I feel like you get a lot of long-term protection from that. The slickness that these two had were amazing. Bead machine for initial application was pretty easy, and then to just do a wash and then feel like, oh, it looks like my sealant isn't performing the best, I might just go over it with the foam cannon with Happy Ending, and it would just come back to life. So I think it is a great option. And if you can just have a look how little of this bottle I've used. This is a 1 litre bottle. It is pretty much full still, and I actually did, I think, 500 mils in this foam cannon. So, I mean, it's going to be hard to see the water level, but the water level is about here still, so just under halfway for this foam cannon. And that's how much is left in that to make up. So this would be enough to do the whole car that I mixed up. Do the whole car, and I can't say how long it lasts. After 3 weeks, it was still performing strong. Again, it was kind of user error applying this one. I made a mistake, as when you apply it, obviously you apply it by walking around the whole car and then you immediately rinse. Because I was doing it on just a small panel, I was spraying it on and then immediately rinsing off this small panel. That's not really the same as applying it to a whole car as you walk around and then coming back to where you started and rinsing off. So maybe I didn't let it bond for long enough, and it may even be better, but after 3 weeks, it was still performing great. And that's 3 weeks of sitting outside in the rain, in the sun, dust, all sorts of stuff blowing over that panel that we had, and it was still performing great. So yeah, I was very impressed with this product, and I would definitely recommend and continue using it. Now, if you don't have a foam cannon or a pressure washer, because I mean, you can pick up a foam cannon super cheap. This one is, I think it was like around under $15 for this setup from eBay. It's one of my sort of spare old foam cannons. And this product, pick up a foam cannon and cheap pressure washer. But if you don't have that, then you could just go with the Wet Dreams and yeah, just spray it on and rinse it off. So yeah, I think I've sort of talked long enough about the products. Didn't really know what I was going to say when I started this video. I just thought like I missed an opportunity where I could sort of give my final thoughts on all the products. So yeah, out of like my favorite was definitely Bead Machine, second Happy Ending, third Wet Dreams. Those 3 products I highly recommend. The Fully Slick and the Afterglow would be just up to you if you like. I really did like Afterglow, and I think I see the point of it, and I see why people would pick it up. And yeah, if I was washing every week my car, then just the user experience is worth it, and how good it looks. And Fully Slick, yeah, we'll test it out with the waxes like I said, but I think Bead Machine, Happy Ending and Wet Dreams were a massive step forward for Bowdens Own. So yeah, like I said, I do have their new paste wax to try out, as well as a few other products from them to do videos on. So I don't want to just make it all Bowdens Own stuff. I know some people would like that, some people would hate that. The channel is not really to look to stick at one brand, but Bowdens Own do make a lot of products, and a lot of them are really good. So we'll test more in the future, but for now we're actually moving on to the next test. That video will be coming out on Saturday, so that will be the next upload. We'll just put this one out as a little midweek bonus video just to wrap up this previous test. So hopefully you guys are keen to see how Bowdens Own Bead Machine goes against. We have NV Jet, Maguire's Hybrid Ceramic Wax, Turtle Wax Ceramic Wax, Mother's CMX, CarPro Reload, and a little test section with CarPro Sequartz UK ceramic coating. So that's going to be a really good test. I've started that. The first application video will be out soon. So yeah, hopefully you guys are keen for that, and hopefully you did enjoy this Bowdens series. Like I said, I'll have a few more videos with their products coming out, but we also have plenty of other things to check out. A lot of you guys have recommended products, so I do want to get through what I currently, like I've spent a little money buying quite a few products recently, so I do want to get through those, but I do definitely encourage you guys to keep the recommendations coming for products you'd like. And if for whatever reason you'd like to support me and help me buy more products, then you can feel free to head on and head over and buy me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com. I'll put a link in the description. It's a website that I use for my other channel if people feel like donating for whatever reason. If I entertain them in my videos or whatever, sometimes people feel like buying me a coffee or a beer is what I put it as. So if you want to head over there, and I think I've set it as $5 for a beer, to shout me a beer. So if you found these videos helpful, useful, and you want to show your appreciation, then feel free to head over, buy me a beer, buy me 10, whatever you want to do. I'm not going to complain. And I'll use that money to buy more products for the channel to test out. So yeah, a bit of a shameless plug, but why not? I have the website and the account already set up for my main YouTube channel, so I thought I may as well throw it on here as well. But so that is going to be it for this video. I know I rambled on a little bit too long, but yeah, just for anyone who was interested in this test, it made sense to wrap it up. So yeah, that's going to be it. So hopefully you guys are keen for the next one, but until then, I will catch you later.